on YouTube. My name is JJ.
And I'm JP.
And we're the J Brothers.
And this is J Brothers Reviews.
Today we're going to be taking a look at Flash Season 1.
Session
by the CW. Now, this show is doing really good. You can check it out on Netflix. You can probably find it online.
And on the CW.
It's obviously on the CW network. This show is doing really good. It's got an 8.1 rating. And today we're just going to take a look at Season 1. First of all, let's get into these characters. You got Barry Allen.
And if I can interject, the Flash actually is the second show of part of the Arrowverse, because Arrow was actually the first show of the DC TV show series. And the Flash was a spin-off show that came out, and it's a really cool show, and it's actually one of my favorites aside from Arrow and all those other DC TV shows.
I didn't really get into the Flash until recently because that boy JP, he's been watching it, and I'm finally getting around to it, because I'm busy.
Yeah, but, because I follow all that hot stuff, man. JJ be slacking sometimes.
I be trying to keep up, man. I'm trying. So we got the main character, Mr. Barry Allen himself. And he's a forensic officer that works for the Central City Police Department.
Barry Allen.
And we got Iris West.
Woo! Candace Patton for the win.
I'll take a little pause right here now. Iris, man, she's the daughter of Joe West, and she's Barry Allen's best friend, which is kind of complicated. But JP we were talking about this earlier. JP was saying how he's very glad that the CW kind of like switched it up a little bit. They got they slide the black characters in there. A little bit of black on black. A little black action.
Black on black. What are you talking about? Barry likes his dark chocolate though. I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie. Iris is kind of cute though. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Cute, she like a tall glass of water.
Oh my goodness. All right,
moving right along. We got Joe West, Barry Allen's surrogate dad, which is like basically he's just he kind of like took Barry in after what happened to his parents and how his dad went to prison. So
because he was accused of killing his mother after her death, because in reality it was a reverse Flash, but since he's fast, he made it look like the dad did it, when in actuality you find out later on in the series he's actually innocent.
Alright, we're gonna break all that down later on. Let's move right along. We got Miss Caitlin Snow.
Yeah,
she alright, she a little 6. she a number.
She's cute. She's played 6. By Danielle Panabaker.
Okay. And she's a bioengineer in the show, and she works for Dr. Wells.
Very intelligent, Smart is sexy.
And her fiance, Ronnie Raymond, which we'll talk about in a second. We got Cisco Ramon.
Cisco, my man. I love how he is the one to nickname metas, and he does a pretty good job at that.
That's funny. Whenever he names a meta, like I can't even take him seriously.
Yo, one of my favorite scenes was like when he nicknames the what's his name? Captain Cold's sister. She's like, "Don't I get a nickname?" He's like, "Fine, Golden Glide." She's like, "Oh."
Oh yeah, that. I remember that scene. She was like, "Yo, you trying to slide them DMs?"
Yeah. and it's like, what do you do when you're Cisco? He has a hot Captain Cold has that hot sister, but she's a baddie, and you're the good guy. So you're like, I don't know, man. I'd still go for it, man. Screw that.
Hey, man, Cisco. He could get the girls, man.
Get them chicks.
He's smart, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, wait. The actor who plays Cisco Ramon, he can sing. Did you know that? He has a good voice.
I didn't even know that.
Forget his name.
I didn't even know that.
Right now.
But he's the youngest member of the team at Star Labs, and Caitlin Snow and Cisco Ramon basically work for Dr. Wells, which is a genius scientist who created Star Labs and the particle accelerator. Moving right along, we got Eddie Thawne. He's a recent transfer to the Central City Police Department. This guy right here, man, I swear, every time he talks, he got a deep voice, sound like straight up Castiel from Supernatural.
Shout out to Supernatural, our favorite TV show, also
Shout
on the
out to
CW.
Supernatural, man, we love that Supernatural, man. We're gonna give you guys some Supernatural videos.
Probably Supernatural lovers just like us.
Coming up soon, guys. We working. We out here working.
Yeah.
We got Ronnie Raymond, and he got technically, quote unquote, killed by the particle accelerator.
Yeah, they thought he died, but really what happened, which is really cool, is he becomes Firestorm because he merged with Dr. Stein, and eventually they work on separating the two so that they can be two entities and not just one. But Firestorm is a really cool, badass character.
You know, I kind of don't really like the fact that he's in some other dude's body. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
no, it's not like that, dude. Dr. Stein is like the fire part of, you know, the duo. You know.
I think it's cool, but I wouldn't want to be fused with somebody. Like the first, they were kind of saying that the first time they didn't fuse quite right, and the second time they fused the right way. So, I don't know. We're going to get to that later on, guys. Moving right along, we're going to start off with some topics for you guys. So, we got the first topic that we're going to bring to you guys is Barry Allen's relationship with Iris West. Like, I don't know if you would really call it a relationship.
It is a relationship, but not like the romantic aspect of it. They've been friends ever since childhood. Barry Allen's in love with Iris West. He
ain't
wants
sliding
to
no
get
DMs
with
yet.
her.
Yo, this dude, man.
He's trying, but then Eddie comes along and cock blocks him. And you know what? It's really screwed up because they kiss so many times in front of Barry, and he's just gotta take one for the team.
Barry's just a nice guy, you know. He's just a nice dude,
nice
man.
guy. I hate when people say nice guy. You know that's complete, BS.
They do say nice dude get friend zoned. I mean, they do say that.
Yeah, but it's not just about being a nice guy, you know. There's a lot more to it than that. But that's for another day.
I think Barry has a lot of respect for Iris, man. He's been holding his feelings back for a long time. And his
that rejection is
Joe even mentioned that he knew that Barry had a thing for her, just by the way he looks at her. But Barry just never, did his thing. He never went for the prize. So I guess he's afraid to tell her. Would you say he's afraid to tell her, or is he just like,
yeah, dude,
being cool?
It's like the love of your life, and It's just one of those hard things, he's wondering if she likes him back, and then he's like, well, she has Eddie, and they got a good thing going, and then they end up moving in together, which is a big, step up in the relationship, and he's just like, he's getting all these barricades, and it's not looking good. But the interesting thing, though, is Iris has an obsession with the Flash, so there's that little advantage that he got,
True.
Can slide in there. But
to be honest, we can even look at it from another perspective. I think that the fact that Barry is the Flash and he's got a lot of enemies, since he loves Iris, he wants to protect her, right? So if people find out that he's the Flash and he's with her, then that creates another hurdle, another problem,
Yeah, because they're gonna use it against him.
We see this in a lot of superhero storylines where
Damsel
the hero wants the girl, but they love the girl, but to protect the girl, they don't get with the girl,
Yeah, out of love, which is interesting.
So, and also there's another weird little thing with Iris and the Flash. Like Iris is obsessed with the Flash. You know what I mean? Like she's like, can you meet me here? Can you meet me there? And this and that.
But she has really strong, really good reporting skills, which I have high respects for her, because she is fearless when she wants to get down to a story, like any good reporter. But yeah, I mean,
she's trying to be Lois Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, man, like one of the bigs. And that the Flash is this. hero, and it's like a big thing with Barry Allen and the Flash, and that's something that I really like about his character, his personality, is that he's all about, you know, love, but also being the good in the world, and the good, like he tries to find alternative routes to, you know, save the day, not just like, you know, take care of some situation by, let's say, the only way to save somebody is to kill them or something like that. He'll try to find something else. He's like, he shows mercy, and that's a good thing to have, I think, as a hero. But it can also be a particular weakness, because like if there's a villain, you know, the Reverse Flash, he's a ruthless character in a way. He doesn't care. Anybody that gets in his way, he'll like take him out just so that he can get what he needs. True. Which is what we're gonna transition into, you know, the big bad of season 1, Reverse Flash.
Right before we get to Reverse Flash, we're gonna close out Barry Allen and Iris West's topic, but right when we're about to transition, we want to basically just talk about a final scene. There's a scene where Iris West finds out that Barry Allen is the Flash. You know, this whole time he's been keeping it away from her, not telling her that he's the Flash, and then eventually she finds out. And the way that she finds out is smart. When she touched Barry, when Barry was in the hospital in one of the first episodes, and right after he got electrocuted, she got jolted by a spark. And at the end of the season, when what's his name? When can't remember his name right now.
Who?
When Castillo.
Eddie.
When Eddie gets taken by the Reverse Flash, she also feels that jolt from the Flash, and as he runs away, she's like, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
So she finds out, but now let's get to this mysterious man in yellow that Barry's on the hunt for. He's obsessed with this dude. Like, he's trying to figure out what's going on with this cat right here, man. This guy, man, this clown, this yellow Power Ranger.
I actually like the Reverse Flash. It's really cool that he's you know, yellow and red. That's really cool.
Why he gotta have glowing red eyes, man? They trying to say he's evil or something? Like,
yeah, man.
Why he gotta have red eyes though?
Because he's evil. And the interesting thing is, if you notice, Barry's lightning when he's running is yellow, and the Reverse Flash's lightning is red. So that streak, you know, is really cool to notice that. So basically, who is the Reverse Flash? He doesn't really show up until I think the 6th episode of the season. We do kind of see him maybe in the beginning when they show a killer. You see that red blur. You see something going on. Somebody you know, taking hostage of the mom and then eventually killing her. And future Flash, or I should say adult Flash, is trying to save his mom or himself from being killed, because originally Reverse Flash trying to kill a young Barry, but you know, so who is he? Like, do you like him as a villain? I sure do. I think they did a really good job with his story arc, introducing the character and just developing him.
I think he's a serious dude. Like, I think Reverse Flash is probably Barry Allen's worst nemesis, and essentially this guy is from the future. He's a genius, you know, and he basically finds one of Barry's suits, and this guy kind of goes on this killing spree and hunt and basically doing crime, and his plans gets foiled by the Flash, you know, and he's like, I don't like this dude. Dag nabbit, this dude's always ruining my plans, spoiling my plots. So he's like, I'm gonna devise a plan. I'm gonna go back in time and make him never exist again. So he goes back in time to try to kill the Flash as a child, but he runs out of energy, so he can't get back home.
Yeah,
so
he loses his speed. He loses his speed, and he cannot get in contact with the Speed Force. And you know what he does? It's pretty genius. If you're evil, you know, he takes the face of Harrison Wells, which is a really well-known scientist in the timeline of Barry, and he builds the particle accelerator 20 years earlier. Well, remember, it was really originally made. You know,
he's in the past. Like he can't get to the future, but he's like, damn, maybe I can speed this up by creating the particle accelerator earlier, so the Flash can be created. And he's trying to speed this process up, you know, because if he doesn't, he's probably gonna be old and crippled. You know what I mean? This guy is basically racing against time the entire time. So,
and it's also interesting that he is the one who created the Flash, essentially. Like, he built the particle accelerator. Barry got his speed from that explosion. 9 months. He's super fast, and he, Reverse Flash is disguised as, Dr. Wells, which is, coincidentally or not coincidentally, Barry's like role model idol since he was a kid. And Dr. Wells / Eobard Thawne is, teaching him the ropes of how to be faster. When in reality, he has an ulterior motive. He just wants to get back to his timeline. But it's just like this like unfortunate but fortunate thing that he has to deal with.
Like when I was watching his interactions with Dr. Wells, like I always knew this dude was a crook. Like just the way he looked at Barry, and just he was just kind of weird.
Yeah, he
like,
had that cold vibe to him every time.
It was weird, man. You know what I mean? I always knew something was up, but I didn't realize that. We later find out that Dr. Wells actually died. He died. Him and his wife died, and this dude just sucked his life force and became Dr. Wells. What a crook, man. So Barry is basically trying to solve this mystery. After his dad went to prison, he made it his mission to get his dad out of prison. And he keeps... I got a sneeze coming on.
No, you don't. Oh, there it is.
Excuse me.
There it is.
He keeps this wall... Thank you. He keeps this wall of information of the murder so he can look at it and kind of review it. And, every day he tries to work on it and figure out, how he can get to the bottom of this case and find out who murdered his mom. And
I think part of that which is interesting, is I think that obsession that Barry has to find his mother's killer is a reason why he's a really good forensic scientist, and just the reason why he has those better powers in a way is because he's dedicated to find it. So he's doing everything he can to be better and to find it. He's really determined, and that's something that's interesting, because he probably had a lot of late nights just thinking about it and just pondering, versus like if Dr. Wells never had that and his mother never died, like he would have probably not been a forensic scientist working at CCPD.
Very true. And we also want to mention that Joe didn't really believe Barry, and he was saying Barry was hallucinating, he was seeing stuff, but eventually when he finally basically saw the Reverse Flash, he knew that Barry wasn't lying, and he knew Barry. I guess Barry told him that he had powers, and he saw Barry in action. So over the course of season 1, they worked together with the CCPD along with Star Labs later on, and then to stop these metahumans, so-called, that are taking over the city. But right before we jump into our next topic, which is metahumans, we want to mention that Joe and Eddie basically go to, I forget the name of the city. Was it Star City?
Maybe.
I don't take our word for it. I forget what episode it was, and I forget what the name of the city is. But they basically go in and investigate the crash of Dr. Wells, and they find out that Dr. Wells died, and that Eobard Thawne is somehow Dr. Wells.
Eobard Thawne.
Thawne.
Thaw, what is it like? Thaw the chicken before you heat it up? Come on.
Good grammar, you know what I'm saying? So, basically, Barry had a few interactions with Reverse Flash. We're not going to go into detail. You know, they squared up. Barry got a couple licks.
Those are pretty good, though, too. The interactions, conversations, and dialogue between Reverse Flash and Flash. It's like Reverse Flash is not making it easy on Barry at all, and he's like rubbing it in his face. He's like, "I will always be faster than you, Barry."
Yo, this dude's so fast he could probably slide on the moon walking backwards, and Barry couldn't catch him. You know what I'm saying? This dude.
Yeah, he has tricks too. he knows a lot of stuff. He knows how to manipulate the Speed Force and do things that Barry doesn't even know how to do.
I mean, he's way more experienced, so Barry is still learning while this dude is basically at the top of his game. You know, it's kind of like an unfair fight. And this dude's cheating. He's got a little juice box under his wheelchair. You know what I mean? So basically, later on we find out that Joe and Cisco, they basically go in the house, they do some kind of forensic stuff. I'm not no genius. I don't know nothing about all that extra stuff they were doing. They kind of created this hologram to where they could visually see what happened the night of Barry Allen's mom's murder.
Which is really cool.
And they find an older version of Flash, his blood. So they eventually come to the conclusion, they talk to Barry yo, man, you were alive. And you went back to fight this dude, and it didn't work out, player. You know what I'm saying? They basically talk.
They didn't say it like that verbatim, but they said something along those lines. Can you imagine Cisco be like, "Yo, Barry, I found something for you, player." I could see him actually trying to do that, and then Joe would probably be like, "Cisco, come on."
But anyways, we jumping right into our next topic, the
metahumans.
Yo, these dudes right here, man. We're gonna talk about the main dude, one of Flash's main villains from the comic book, and one of the main not the first villain, but one of the most important villains.
Leonard Snart
in the Flash TV show.
Hey.
Let me say something about this dude right here. Captain Ice Cube.
Captain Ice Cube. Come on. He has a gun that Cisco feels guilty because he's the one with the gun just in case Flash was super fast and he went evil or something like that, and it's just to slow him down, and he stole the gun that he created, and he's just like, oh my gosh, my friend.
If you guys look at the comic books, this guy wears a little I don't know, he wears one of those
sunglasses.
3D, got the 3D glasses, you know what I'm saying? But I like what they did in the TV show. You know, they made him not too crazy. You know, he's just got a little fur coat. You know, he's got a little blast gun, so he's not too crazy and over the top. But
he's a cool villain. I like him.
He's definitely. I like this man. Is definitely.
And
evil.
He's smart. He's smart.
Yo, he's smart, concisive. He's got that little.
And just the way he talks. Come on, Barry.
Don't mess with me. Yeah, he got that deep little, don't mess with me voice. He's serious dude, man.
I'm a criminal. You think I was not gonna take an opportunity? My impersonation of him is probably not the best, but yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is totally off topic, but you see that dude hairline? Yo, they ain't even line him up. They ain't give him no edge or nothing, man. His junk all crooked, man. He got the Batman tape.
What do you got to rip on his hair? Come on. He's probably self-conscious.
I don't know, man. I just.
If he heard you, he would freeze you to death. He's like, "This one's for you, JJ."
I just noticed it, man. I just had to say it, man. So moving right along, we got Gorilla Grodd. This
crazy,
right here,
crazy
man.
Ape Caesar, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, right here.
So I don't really know too much about Grodd in the comic books, but I know he's one of Flash's greatest enemies. And
Grodd is one heck of a pain to deal with because he is a really giant ape and gorilla, and he's really, really smart.
I mean, you seen him. The dude hit him with the supersonic punch, man. He just caught it like Superman. Yo, you ain't gonna play. You can't touch this, man.
You do not want to mess with Gorilla Grodd, but he's a contender. He's like a Hulk gorilla, you know? Oh man.
So moving right along. We had a few other metahumans. We had I forget the dude's name. There was a dude that could multiply himself, and basically he wanted revenge. We had a girl that could teleport like a Nightcrawler. We had another important metahuman. We had a Firestorm. The metahuman that basically was what's the doctor's name?
Dr. Stein.
Dr. Stein and Ronnie. So I thought Firestorm was pretty cool. They kind of stole Fantastic Four's thunder a little bit with the flame on and all that, but you know, I give him a pass on that. He was kind of cool. You know, he's a real cool superhero, real cool dude. We also had Mr. Gas, man. That dude was ugly, dog. This dude I don't know what happened to that dude, man. Like, his face melted, man. He ain't getting no action, man. I'm just saying. Homie ain't getting no action. What else we had?
No, oh well, so if he did, he'd probably kill the girl, cause you know.
Oh, the one dude that I liked was the bully guy. He was kind of like a Colossus dude, man. He was eating bullets and stuff. I forget his name, man. But he was a cool character, and it's kind of funny because Dr. Wells, he created prisons inside Star Labs, and he was basically playing he was playing the metahumans against each other. And a lot of the metahumans, he promised them, oh, if you do this, I'll let you escape. And we find out that some of them die. You know, some of them die from their altercations, and he's a smart dude. Like, he's 10 steps ahead of them, which, you know, we all know he's not really Dr. Wells. This guy's a slick cat. And some other important characters that we want to talk about. General Eiling. What do you think about this?
Man, that guy, dude? He had it coming anyways.
You think so?
Yeah. He's crooked. Isn't he the one who created Grodd? He like imprisoned him and they started doing experiments and all that stuff.
Well, he was working with Dr. Wells, and I think basically the real Dr. Wells. He was working with the real Dr. Wells, and when Dr. Wells realized that General Eiling had his own agendas and he was trying to create these psychic superhumans and stuff, he was like, nah, man, we can't do this. This is unethical, you know.
Yes,
we gotta close the project down.
The real Dr. Wells was a good guy.
But General Eiling is
like, nah, player. This is what I'm gonna do right here. Listen up.
He's got secret agendas. He's got other things going on. Let's talk about. Oh, by the way, General Eiling, this dude, man. I don't know what kind of general he is. He ain't got no stars. He ain't got no stripes. Like, come on, man. Like,
general stars, no stars and no stripes.
General, you gotta look like a general, man. You gotta wear like a black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
He needs to sharpen up, man. So
every time you enter the building, necks be breaking.
He ain't getting no salutes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He ain't getting no salutes, man. Come on, General. What you doing, player? We're gonna move right along. Cisco and Kate, man. Cisco and Kate.
They're the best of buds.
Cisco's cool. He can get kind of nerdy sometimes.
He is nerdy, man.
You know, Kate's that girl. You know, Kate's that girl. She really cares about, you know, everybody cares. She cares about Dr. Wells, Cisco, and especially Barry Allen. You know, her and Barry kind of have like a little rough patch in the beginning, just because she was recouping from thinking that her fiance died, which he didn't. But eventually, you know, they kick it off, and she and Cisco are basically the eyes and ears for Barry, along with Dr. Wells.
You know, there's a ship for Caitlin Snow and Barry Allen, and they call it Snowberry.
What?
Yeah, so for the people who don't ship, you know, Iris and Barry, there's Snowberry, which I mean, originally, I'm not gonna lie, I shipped them a little bit at first, but then But then Iris came around, and I was like, yeah, Iris is a better fit for Barry Allen, and I like them more. But yeah, I mean, Caitlin's kind of cute. They make a good relationship. But I mean, she's taken and she's kind of broken a little bit, unfortunately, with the whole Ronnie thing, and she's just like not over him. Which is hard, you know. Like you're gonna marry somebody, and then they just die. It's like, I don't know what to do.
There was an episode where they was kissing though, but that was
but that wasn't even
Barry. But she kind of pulled back, and then she was like,
she's like, the real Barry isn't like this. She let him do it
again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she liked it a little bit, man.
You know,
she let him go for round 2. You know.
I'd be going for round 2, 3, 4.
Then you slide them DMs.
Yeah, man.
So they're a good team. You know, they're very smart. And
Team Flash.
They basically help Barry. They're like his eyes and ears. They're the eagle in the sky. You know.
Yeah.
And
every good team has to have the hero, the techie nerd who makes the suits and helps them with the gadgets and all that stuff. The brains and the healer, I guess, the doctor person. So it's a good dynamic, you know. Everybody, pulls their strength together, and with Dr. Wells too, like he helps them a lot, with conundrums and situations they find themselves in, and he's a good mentor at first, before they realize that he's who he is, and I don't know.
If he wasn't such a reject, man, he could have been a really cool guy, man. But he had to be a bad guy. He had to be a reject. But we had a couple of special appearances, like the Arrow. You guys already know
the
Arrow
Queen.
Is. The man, the myth, the legend.
Oh yeah.
The man with the green arrows.
Kicks that butt.
The man that be making all the girls drop it low. He got the big bucks. We're not gonna go into too much detail. I mean, if you don't know who the Arrow is and you never watched the Arrow, I don't know what you guys sleeping on.
You have failed this city.
You guys need to go check it out. The Arrow's popping. Me myself, I have to go check it out because your boy's kind of slacking.
JJ, you have failed this city.
And then we got the Atom, which made a guest appearance, and I kind of liked the little interaction that they had with with Cisco, and the fact that Cisco really kind of helped them fix his suit. The fact that he was thinking too big and he had to go small. That was the episode where there was it was the girl that created these bees.
Oh yeah, and, that was a really good one.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and that's kind of cool because the Atom's gets real tiny and stuff, and he's still super strong. He beats people up where they can't see him. He's microscopic.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool how they included the Atom in one of the Flash's episodes, little guest appearance. And I also we had a little kind of, not really a guest appearance, but a little snippet of Black Canary. You know what I'm saying? Black Canary, I don't know, man. She could be like a Scarlett Johansson though. Like she's not on that level, but she's the Scarlett Johansson of that world right there, what I'm saying?
Katie Cassidy is fine, and for those of you Supernatural fans, she plays Ruby in Supernatural.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Well, I didn't know. See,
you didn't notice?
I don't even remember what happened to Ruby.
Man, I like Ruby.
That's another topic for another day. But
we're getting off topic.
She had a little guest appearance. I guess they wanted to sneak her in there, but basically. Cisco needed some help with a tag. Cisco, the man of the hour, he handled that way better.
That was good.
And
she even gives him a shout out in that Arrow episode. She's like, "Thanks, Cisco."
He gets a picture too.
Oh yeah.
She gave him a picture. I don't know if it was autographed, but man, I would love me a picture. Sign an autograph with a little lipstick kiss on there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh okay, yeah. You want that exclusive stuff. Man, why don't you just get the girl, man? Screw a picture. I'd look at a picture all day.
Oh man. All right, guys. we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna give you a little conclusion. Basically, we're gonna give you how good we felt season 1 was. So overall, season 1 was setting up the story for Flash, bringing in a lot of metahuman story arcs. But overall, season 1 was about this mysterious Reverse Flash, and basically Flash finds out that Reverse Flash came from the future. All the details. We kind of went over it, and then at the very end, we find out that Eddie is related to Eobard Thawne, and that basically he's holding Eddie hostage as insurance, because if Eddie dies, he never exists. He's holding Eddie hostage, and
which kind of backfires.
His whole goal, he's using the particle accelerator to basically open a hole in the space-time continuum, and
so he can go back to his timeline.
Yup, and he rips a hole in space at the end of season 1, and we see Barry basically going into it. I mean, I don't know what that means. I don't know where Barry's going, if he's coming back, but the season ends on a really high note. And
and it's a pretty intense episode. Really great season finale. A lot of things happens, but overall, I think season 1 of The Flash was a really good way to introduce who the Flash is, how he got his powers, developing Star Labs, Team Flash, how they got together and how they become a unit, start working together, and start kicking butt. And Barry is always struggling with not being fast enough. He says that a lot. That's like that's my joke for season 1 for Flash. He's like, I'm not fast enough. I need to get faster. It's all about his speed and increasing it. So,
at the very end, Reverse Flash does get, as I like to say, clapped up. That's a little slang for y'all that don't know. He dies. Basically, Eddie sacrifices himself to basically, kill off this Reverse Flash guy once he realizes, his plans and who he is in relation to Eobard Thawne. Also, before I forget, Iris, they basically find out that Iris marries the Flash.
Barry Allen, yeah.
Barry Allen, and
it's because of that newspaper that Harrison Wells, aka Thawne, has in his little secret chamber, and in the byline, who made it or who wrote the article, which is like Flash missing in crisis, is Iris West Allen.
It kind of sucks because Iris really kind of liked Eddie, and Eddie's whole purpose, he wanted to be something, he wanted to have a purpose, and at the end of the season, he finds that purpose, and right before he dies, he says, I know my purpose. I don't know if this was exactly what he said, but he did say, like, I'm a hero, he basically is whole. He fulfilled what he feels like he needed to do, what he needed to be. So for the greater good, and basically Iris is meant to be with Barry. So maybe season 2, Barry, might handle that, slide the deal. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but we're gonna find out, guys. We appreciate you guys being here with us. This is a little kind of in-depth, kind of long. We didn't cover everything, but we covered the most important things, the things that really mattered for the season. And we hope you guys leave a like, comment in the description what we can improve, what we can do better. Definitely we're gonna include our social medias so you guys can check us out, and we hope you guys continue to watch and continue to do this with us. And you got anything to add, JP?
Yeah, man, we just wanted to give you our take on the Flash, and we're gonna definitely be working on more of Flash season 2 and 3, and eventually 4 when it comes out. I'm excited for that. And we're gonna do a lot more episodes. And if you want, you can comment some suggestions on TV shows or even films that you would like us to review and talk about. That way we can keep these conversations hot and flowing.
Yeah, guys. We're also gonna go into top 5s, our top 5 favorite TV shows. You know, we're gonna go into a lot of stuff: TV shows, movies. Not every episode is gonna necessarily be this long. This is just a little in-depth, comprehensive review of season 1. Yeah. So you know, we had to kind of go over a whole lot of topics. But we hope you guys enjoyed. We hope you guys had fun. We hope you guys had some laughs in there.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you guys next time. You know,
yeah.
My name is JJ.
And I'm JP.
And we out.
Signing off.
Peace.
Black Mo.